Hello, tile friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Tile Money Podcast. This is the podcast that is strengthening the tile industry. We're doing this with our business education designed for contractors by contractors. The result is a stronger industry from the installer up. You've let me know that this education is assisting you to build sustainable, profitable businesses, and I love to hear your feedback. I love hearing that you're out there kicking butt and building profitable businesses. That's what it's all about. Today, we have another great interview lined up for you. We have Nick Struzik, owner of Syndicate Tile Stone. Nick is a CTI number 1494. Nick is also a professional bowler, along with being an admin for the Global Tile Podcast Facebook group. Global Tile Posse Facebook group. But before we bring Nick on, I want to thank our sponsors of the show. These sponsors keep the lights on and make this podcast available every single week. The National Tile Contractors Association, the NTCA, is a sponsor of yours. And within the NTCA, you can find some of your new best friends. You will find contractors who have been doing this, some of them for generations. The NTCA is the largest association of tile contractors in the world. They're there to answer any questions you might have, whether you're looking for a technical solution to a complicated problem on the job or an introduction to an expert in a specific field of tile. Whatever the case might be, the NTCA has your back. The members are some of the most profitable and professional tile contractors I know. Join for the community. You can talk to Jim Olson on social media to learn more about what the NTCA can do for your business. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'd also like to thank Laticrete International. Laticrete is the leading innovator in the tile installation materials world. Literally credited with inventing thinset and winning the World Trade Center contract for providing that lightweight solution to build the world's tallest buildings at the time. Laticrete is still a family-run, privately held company with family values that you can feel when talking to the reps, all the way up to the family members who are still working in their business, down to the reps that help you in the field. Laticrete provides everything you need to install tile, from waterproofing to grout, silicone, a true one-stop shop. GoBoard is another one of our sponsors, and GoBoard is an innovative tile backerboard manufactured by Johns Manville. You can discover the possibilities with this easy-to-cut and handle waterproof product. It's lightweight yet very durable. You can carry more boards in one trip, seal the joints and fastener penetrations using their sealant, their GoBoard Pro sealant, to achieve ANSI A118.1 compliant installations out there. And GoBoard Pro sealant is now available in the 20-ounce sausage packs. Ask your distributor to bring them in if you don't see them. Learn more at jm.com/GoBoard. And our last sponsor, HappyTileGuy.com. HappyTileGuy.com is where tile contractors are getting professional websites built. I am a part owner in HappyTileGuy.com. Full disclosure. Give me a shout out if you need any questions answered, or visit HappyTileGuy.com. It's very easy. All right. Well, let's bring Nick on. Nick, how are you, brother?
Pretty good. How about you, Luke?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
So where are you at in the world?
I'm in Wilmington, Illinois.
Wilmington, Illinois. All right. But not for long, right?
Not for long. Making the move down to suburbs of Houston.
Okay. What brought that on?
Quite a few things. Warmer weather. That's one of the biggest things. Just kind of change of pace, I think.
Yeah. Now, when you move, will you keep your business name and all that, or just
Yep.
Syndicate Tile? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we met a few weeks back in Orlando, and we had a really enjoyable time. I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better. You were really pulling the moves there when we were bowling with Schluter.
Little bit.
Nice. That was a good time. So tell me about your introduction to the tile world. How did you get started in the tile industry?
Honestly, I kind of just fell into it. I grew up with a single mom, and she was always wanting stuff done around the house, and I was like, oh, I could do that. And she was like, okay, well, I'll buy you the tools, you figure it out.
Cool.
So tiled a couple things in my house, screwed up a bunch of stuff. I was 16, and the following summer I got on with a guy as his helper and kind of just went from there with it. Worked for him for a couple years, and then just kept progressing.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
And at what age how did you distinguish that it was tile that you kind of wanted to learn more about?
I've pretty much cycled through almost every trade with the exception of plumbing and electrical. And tile just always felt like home to me. I've always liked it the most. I always thought it was kind of the biggest outlet for creativity. There's such a large variety that you could do with tile, so yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And at what age did you then take it further and start a business or start, working for yourself?
I started my first business when I was 25, realized I didn't know shit about business.
Yeah.
So that one didn't go too well. And then I'd say probably 29 was when I started taking things more seriously. Started educating myself about the actual business side of things. So yeah, I'd probably say like 29, around there.
Mm-hmm. So when between the ages of 25 and 29, what kind of things did you have to learn the hard way that really, stumped you?
Taxes, payroll. I mean,
everything, right?
pretty much you name it. I messed it up one way or another. So yeah.
So at 29, you started getting more serious. What, where did you turn for help or for knowledge?
Some older guys in the area. I started leaning on more business owners that I'm familiar with, not necessarily tile companies, but just business owners in general. The SBA. I got involved with SCORE. So I got a business mentor. He actually worked for the IRS. So that helped out tremendously. He helped me in a lot of ways. And then actually I got into the union for a while and really learned about how to run a larger scale job. So I think that really kind of fine-tuned some of the things that I already knew how to do. And it's just been a progression from there. Obviously, Tile Money's helped out a ton. Getting involved with you guys, doing the Business Boost Challenge, having access to more people that could teach me the little facets that I don't know or can add to what I do know already.
Yeah. Now let's slow down here a minute and talk a little bit more about SCORE, which is, is SBA Small Business Administration assistance. I mean, it's a free program. It's in every city. So if those of you out there who are looking for maybe you prefer that hands-on or face-to-face mentor, which, definitely can be very helpful for, whatever, get together, you can read facial expressions, you can have deeper conversations. Tell us about your experience, because and by the way, this will vary city to city, different. It's the mentors are also, giving of their time. It's a free, they're donating their time. So obviously you have to have the mentors, and then you have to have people asking for them. So it's kind of a give and take there. But what was your experience? I mean, it sounds pretty good.
It was really good. We meet it's slowed down a little bit with the pandemic and all of that kind of stuff. But we were meeting regularly every 2 weeks. And pretty much he would kind of like almost give me homework, he'd be like, okay, like next time I see you, I want to see X, Y, and Z from you, or I want you to have a list of, 5 questions that pertain to your business, so on and so forth. So he really pushed me to dig deeper into my own stuff and kind of look for things that I wasn't necessarily looking for. As far as, like personality and stuff, like you said, it's going to vary with every mentor and your area. I feel like I got really lucky. Me and my mentor, we just kind of really clicked right off the bat. So yeah, it's been an extremely good experience. And for those people looking to get into it, or if you had a bad experience, you can always request a different mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. If it's not working out. And
mhm.
no, that's great. I'm really glad to hear that's going well for you.
Yeah,
What a great program and a great resource that, a lot of people should at least look into taking
yeah,
advantage of and see if it's a good fit for you. And then I was super excited and happy to have you join our challenge. Thank you
yeah.
for joining. What were some of your thoughts and takeaways? I mean, you said just being able to
Um,
be with everybody else kind of was one of the takeaways.
I liked. I feel like I had the biggest impact from Dirk Sullivan.
Mhm.
Um, Talking a lot about the apprenticeship. That's something that I think is super important. Um, it was we didn't get to spend a excessive amount of time with him, so it was hard to understand exactly all the ins and outs of it, which
Mhm.
you're never going to get out of a few hours.
Yeah.
But I would probably say that I liked that session the most. Bradford Denny, obviously, I mean, he's a wealth
Yeah.
of knowledge, so that goes without saying. His was awesome. I mean, everybody did a great job. Trask, um, he had a lot of good things to say about, like leadership,
Yeah.
how to create that company culture that people want to work for you. I think that was huge, not only for myself, but just for everybody.
Mhm.
Um, I think that sometimes in the industry, a lot of old school guys have a mentality of, like figure it out or get off the job site. And it doesn't always work like that with everyone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think that that's definitely important um, for not only myself, but for a lot of the newer guys.
Absolutely. And you're right. It's hard to really, get into it in those 2 hours. But
Yeah.
what I liked, especially narrowing in on the first person you mentioned, Dirk, with his, mentorship program and everything he did is it was a nice overview of what he's done.
Mhm.
And really, he had to make that happen. And I think a lot of people, I've been talking to a lot of people as of late. I mean, I think Malcolm Campbell made a post where he was, wanting to do some training. He or might be purchasing a building and wanting to do some tile training in it. And
Yeah,
then,
I saw that.
we had at least two or three organic, people chime up that I haven't really recognized or seen them commenting a lot, but they popped up and said, "Hey, we have this training," and somebody showed us their modules, and
Mhm.
I thought that was so cool. Because really at the end of the day, it's up to each one of us as business owners to really, push this trade forward in our local markets
Right.
and do something out of the box that nobody is really doing. Even though Dirk's doing it, and you might have, a couple dozen other people doing it in the States or in the world, there's nobody doing it in your local market, I guarantee. And even if there was, you've got your own twist and your own way to do it. So I would really encourage everybody to think about the way, they're training their apprentices. The company culture is huge, which I thought Trask just, hit that out of the park. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm all about, is the company culture that he's built. It's just incredible. And if anybody wants access to these trainings, let me know. You can purchase access to watch all 10 hours of this content. Thanks for commenting on that a little bit, Nick. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for hosting it.
Yeah, yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. So, as you get ready for your move here, one of the first things that pop into my head is, okay, moving is always nice because it's like a fresh start, right? We can kind of
Yep.
leave behind some of our old practices, almost, shed those practices that aren't really doing us any good. And when it comes
Mhm.
to your business, have you identified one or two of these things that you're going to leave behind and start fresh a little bit, start different?
Um, Honestly, I can't really say as of right now. Things have been kind of crazy getting ready.
Yeah.
We've had a million projects to get done at the house before we sell and things like that. So I haven't really sat down and kind of thought about some of those things. I have thought about that there's going to be some changes for sure. I just haven't really pinpointed necessarily what I want them to be or what I think they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I know it sounds like you guys kind of made this decision relatively recently, right? So
Yeah, it was pretty quick. It was, kind of right after coverings.
Yeah, because we were talking at coverings, and you were kind of mentioning how you were going to purchase more land, not too far from where you're already living.
Yep.
So yeah, well, I mean, congratulations on making the decision. I bet that
Thanks.
feels good, and I know it's going to be a good move for you. Um, are you in a situation where you got to get out of there quick, or what's going on? How are you wrapping up your work right now? That might be insightful.
So pretty much, any contractors lists that I was on or anything through any stores, I already contacted them, pretty much explained, I was moving, things like that. I have pretty much my schedule's filled until I leave.
Yeah.
Me and Todd Miller, who owns Toshi Design, we share a lot of projects together. So, if I happen to go a little bit over, he kind of told me, like, hey, I could give you days until you need to leave, which is awesome and a huge help. So yeah, I mean, I'll be wrapping up the rest of the jobs that I have on the books, and that's kind of been it. I've been trying to, any calls I've been getting in, I've been trying to kind of pass those jobs off on people that I know. At least give that recommendation. Whether the client chooses to go that route or not is up to them, obviously. So yeah.
Nice. So have you been able to give it much thought as to how you're going to start marketing and kind of getting the company rolling in the new location?
Few things. I reached out to Paul Lucia. He's doing a lot of things with the Built with Foam 1 day waterproofing. He said he might be able to have me go to a trade show with him, and introduce me to some builders, things like that. Obviously I'm going to go to all the stores just like I did here.
Yeah.
Try and get on some contractor lists. Really just grind it out for, however long I need to until things start picking up traction.
Yeah.
So no necessarily like a set in stone plan of action. Just kind of gonna go down there and jump in feet first.
Yeah. That's cool. Right now is a good time to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Probably won't take too long before somebody says, I'll put you to work starting Monday.
Right.
As long as you show up.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on. Well, I have a feeling it's going to go really, really well. Well, what's been, speaking of, thinking about the way you want to grow your business, what does your business look like to you in the future, say a few years out?
Timeline wise, I'm not really sure how long it's going to be. I actually want to transition into a non-for-profit at some point in time whenever I feel like I can make that a financially viable option. So not necessarily growing my company, but getting to a point where I can be strictly non-for-profit. I want to do barrier-free showers, ADA stuff for kids with special needs. It's super important to me. My youngest is special needs, so that's eventually where I want to get to.
Nice. That sounds like a great goal, man.
Yeah.
Good idea. And how many What would that look like? Do you know in real time? Like, would that be like federally funded or funded by?
Um, so there's a lot to it. Every state differs. Here in Illinois, we have quite a few programs. It's, believe it or not, actually a pretty good state for things like that. Some of it is state funded. I've looked into the federal stuff. Honestly, it's kind of hard for me to understand some of it, some of the lingo and stuff. So I do have some contacts with people that have been involved with foundations and that kind of niche area for quite some time. So it's just a matter of, picking everybody's brains. With my son, they do like a yearly convention pretty much. So when we go to that, I'll be able to definitely get with a lot of people that are a little bit higher up in the ranks, to kind of get some of those in-depth answers, without me kind of scrambling to try and read through everything online pretty much. So I'm hoping within the next 10 years that'll be a reality, if not sooner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're on the right track. Showing up to the conventions and seeking out the people that know more than you
Right.
is the right track. Have you done that already, or will this be your first
as far as
attending the conventions?
This will be my first one.
Okay.
My son was just diagnosed last year. Yeah, this will be our first one.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to it. There's, just from what we've seen online, we know there's a lot of good information, networking. I mean, the same as coverings would be for tile is this for,
Yeah, absolutely. I love, these business conventions or trade conventions. I've been to a couple for podcasting. And I've been going to coverings and surfaces and some of the smaller events, which I love, what was I going to say here? I lost my thought, but speaking of coverings, that's where we met, for the first time. And was that your first coverings?
Yeah.
And you won the Rockstar Award, correct?
I did.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that at the outset. Congratulations again for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How did that come about? Tell me about that.
I just got the email from them, pretty much saying that I was a recipient of the award. Called my wife. I was like, "You're never gonna believe this. I won the Rockstar Award." So it was pretty crazy. It definitely took me by surprise. I was over the moon about it, to say the least. And especially, it made my first coverings that much more important. It was a really cool occasion all around. And I had a blast meeting everybody, just being able to talk tile for a couple days,
Yeah, it was super cool. It was a fun event. And that's, you talking about these conventions and, furthering yourself, furthering your career. And that's where you want to be, is at these conventions, whether it's the tile industry or, a special needs convention or a podcast convention. I mean, these are where the experts are going. These are where the people with the knowledge that you want to unlock. And the key is really simple. Just show up and start having conversations. Yeah. Now, I was going to mention too, with your nonprofit, I'd also suggest and encourage you to reach out to the industry at large. Maybe a manufacturer you like working with, whether it be tile or materials. They've been very supportive of these sorts of things. And going down the road to be a nonprofit obviously brings a lot of legitimacy to what you're doing. And obviously, you're going to, it's not just like a passing phase or a passing
Right.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a couple bathrooms, or I've been a part of a couple bathrooms that we've done for people, and the I don't know what the word would be, the participation from just reps and manufacturers has been astounding. We literally, anytime I've ever been involved like in anything like this, we didn't have to worry about anything as far as product, which is awesome. I have reached out to some manufacturers and kind of told them my plan. Definitely all of them were on board and just pretty much like, let us know what you need, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a great industry in that regards, in so many regards, but they're very supportive of donation projects of helping out either veterans or, children with disabilities, things of this nature. So, man, that's a great cause. I'd love to help you any step of the way if I can, and, get the word out there. I think that's really cool that you're passionate about that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, once I start getting more things moving in that direction, we'll definitely reach out and figure out how to do something.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'll help promote it or do whatever I can.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's I'm staring at this whiteboard behind you. Tell me about this whiteboard. I mean, I've been meaning to get one myself. You found it pretty helpful?
So it's just got some pricing on materials. When I'm sitting here kind of working up bids and stuff, I could just kind of quick glance over. It's a little bit easier for me than like a spreadsheet or something. Closing out the windows, opening up multiple stuff. And then typically I write down, jobs that are coming up. If I just have sometimes random thoughts, or, there's over here, there's, some of the names of some of the books and stuff from the Business Boost Challenge. I was sitting here watching, just kind of jotting stuff down. So this is kind of like my oversized notepad.
Nice. Yeah. I like it. I've been meaning to get one myself. I've been using sticky notes, so I have the undersized notepads. But what this allows me to do is just jot one thought down, or one task or goal, and then when it's done, I throw it away and I just stack them. I stack them all, and then that way I'm only looking at one thing at once. Every morning I go through it.
Sometimes I'll do like sticky notes like on my bathroom mirror if I need to like remember something like first thing in the morning, something to take with me, or do something before I leave the house in the morning. And then I'll pull them off and toss them out. So
nice. Yeah. They can be pretty efficient that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were talking about, let's see here, about the camaraderie of, coverings and all that. Do you think that's going to be looking forward, how big of a help is that going to be for your business?
I think it's huge. Just sometimes, the Facebook groups are awesome. I've met a lot of great people and kind of started a lot of friendships, through those groups. But sometimes it's hard when you're trying to ask a pointed question and you get, 50 responses and it's 37 different ones. So getting that FaceTime and being able to have more of that personal connection with people is awesome. Now I have, whether it be phone numbers, or I can call them, text them, direct message them. Hey, I got this project, I need to know X, Y, and Z, or, for instance, if I felt like I needed to reach out to ask a business question. So I think it was huge, just huge. And then obviously the exposure for your own business, just in general, other people having your business name on the tip of their tongue is always of a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree, Nick. And like you moving now, you have resources already.
Yeah.
You already have them. They're already there. And by being, by being active in the groups and, talking to people, you're going to be that much further along. So
Yeah.
I think it's a very valuable resource, and I hope everybody's utilizing social media for that reason. I always talk about the benefits and the cons of social media, and if you're finding there's too many negative things, maybe just switch up the way you're using it and the way you view it, really, what you jump in there. How's your experience be? We had that epic game of bowling with you and McD. How's your experience being an admin so far with the Tile Posse?
It's been good. Nothing crazy has happened, anything like that. It's been good.
Yeah. We're happy to have the extra eyes and ears on everything. We appreciate your help.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Well, Nick, I think we're going to wrap it up here. I really appreciate your time and your willingness to share your experience and your story. And absolutely. I'm looking forward to rapping with you again once you get settled down there and see how things are going. I know that's always interesting. Maybe we'll give you a few months and see how it went. How the move went.
Definitely.
For sure. All right, Nick. Well, you take care. Have a good day.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Luke.
All right, tile friends. Well, I appreciate you listening. That was a shorter one today, but I wanted to be respectful of Nick's time with his big move. And listen, if you're not staying in touch with all things tile money, make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter. It's emailed every single Thursday, and it keeps you in touch with everything we've got going on. We've got a mud event coming up in Idaho Falls at the end of August. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to be recording a few different episodes. It's a 3-day event. The first day is a CTI. So if you haven't taken your CTI test and you want to, you might want to sign up to attend the mud event in Idaho Falls. August 26th is the CTI, 27th and the 28th is the mud event. All right, tile friends. Well, until next week, stay positive and stay profitable out there.